Lucas stood at the edge of his backyard, squinting up at the gray clouds that hung heavy in the sky. At just 8 years old, he had already developed a reputation in his small town of Oakridge, not for being the fastest runner or the best at math, but for something far more unusual. Lucas believed he could paint the sky. "The clouds are too gloomy today," he mumbled to himself, reaching into the pocket of his faded blue overalls. He pulled out a small wooden box that his grandfather had carved for him before passing away last winter. Inside were what looked like ordinary colored chalks, but Lucas knew better. These were his sky paints. At school, the other children laughed when he talked about his special ability. His teacher had gently suggested that perhaps he had a vivid imagination, which was a wonderful thing for a young artist. Even his mother would smile that particular smile, the one adults use when they think a child is being adorably mistaken. But Lucas knew what he knew. "Time for some sunshine," he said, selecting a piece of yellow chalk. He closed his eyes, rubbed the chalk between his palms until it warmed, and then raised his arms toward the sky. He imagined the yellow light breaking through the clouds, streaming down in golden rays onto the town below. Nothing happened. The sky remained stubbornly gray. His shoulders slumped as doubt crept in. The same doubt that had been growing since the other kids had started calling him Crazy Cloud Boy. "Maybe they're right," he whispered, lowering his arms. "Maybe I can't really do anything special." Just then, his next-door neighbor Mrs. Chen appeared at the fence, her weathered hands wrapped around a mug of tea. "Why so glum, young Lucas?" she asked, her voice soft with the accent of her homeland. Lucas kicked at the grass. "I can't make the sun come out anymore." Instead of laughing or correcting him, Mrs. Chen nodded thoughtfully. "When did you first know you could paint the sky?" The question surprised him. No adult had ever asked him that before. "Last summer after Grandpa died," Lucas replied. "He always said the sky was the biggest canvas in the world. One day, I was really sad and I found his old chalks. I just believed I could use them to make the sky happier. And then it worked." His voice grew animated as he remembered. The clouds turned pink and gold, like they were on fire, but in a beautiful way. Mrs. Chen sipped her tea. "And when did you stop believing?" Lucas blinked. "I don't know. Maybe when Jeremy told everyone in class I was a liar, or when Mom said I should stop telling stories." Mrs. Chen nodded. "So your power worked when you believed in it completely, with no doubt in your heart." Lucas considered this. "I guess so. The greatest magic in the world," Mrs. Chen said, "is the power of absolute belief. When you believe without question, mountains can move." She pointed to his chalk. "Try again. But this time, don't hope it will work. Know it will work." Lucas looked skeptical, but he took out the yellow chalk again. This time, he closed his eyes and remembered exactly how it felt last summer. The absolute certainty. The connection between his heart and the vast sky above. He remembered his grandfather's words. "The world is full of magic for those who believe in themselves enough to see it." He lifted his arms and, in his mind, he wasn't trying to paint the sky. He was painting the sky. Minutes passed. "Lucas," Mrs. Chen's voice was quiet. "Open your eyes." When he did, Lucas gasped. Through a break in the clouds, a single beam of sunlight had broken through, illuminating his small figure in the backyard. It wasn't the full sunshine he had imagined, but it was something, a response from the vast canvas above. That evening at dinner, Lucas was unusually quiet. "Everything okay?" his mother asked. "Mom, do you think some things can be true even if most people don't believe them?" She paused, considering his question seriously. "I suppose so. Many discoveries started with someone believing something that everyone else thought was impossible." Lucas nodded, emboldened. "I want to show you something tomorrow. Promise you'll really look?" The next morning was Saturday. Lucas woke his mother early, practically pulling her to the backyard in her bathrobe. The sky was overcast, the sun not yet risen. "Watch," he said simply, taking out his box. This time, he selected orange, pink, and gold chalks. He closed his eyes, and with complete conviction, he began to move his arms in broad, sweeping gestures. In his mind, he wasn't a boy in a backyard. He was a conductor orchestrating the dawn, a painter with the world's largest canvas. His mother watched, her expression shifting from sleepy indulgence to confusion, and then to wonder as the clouds above began to part. The rising sun caught the edges of the clouds, setting them ablaze with exactly the colors Lucas had chosen. "Lucas," she whispered, her eyes wide. "How are you?" "I'm not doing anything, Mom," Lucas replied. "I'm just reminding the sky of what it already knows how to do. Grandpa taught me that believing in yourself is like that. It's just remembering what you've always been able to do." As the colors deepened and spread, neighbors began to emerge from their homes, pointing and taking photos of what would later be described as the most spectacular sunrise in Oakridge history. Later that day, as they sat on the porch swing, his mother asked, "Why don't the colors last all day?" Lucas shrugged. "Nothing does, but they'll come back tomorrow if I paint them again." He paused. "Do you believe me now?" His mother put her arm around him. "I believe that you believe, and sometimes that's enough to make incredible things happen." In the coming weeks, Lucas's sky paintings became local legends. Some people claimed it was coincidence or unusual weather patterns. Scientists from a nearby university came to investigate the Oakridge atmospheric phenomenon. But to those who watched Lucas work, his face serene with absolute certainty, there was something more at play. The other children stopped laughing and started asking for special colors on their birthdays. When Jeremy, his former bully, asked for blue stars for his party, Lucas simply smiled and said, "Just watch the sky tonight." And as Lucas grew older, he discovered that the power of complete belief extended far beyond his sky painting. It helped him ace tests others found impossible, heal injuries faster than doctors predicted, and eventually create art that would hang in galleries around the world. But he never forgot what his grandfather and Mrs. Chen had taught him, that the greatest magic wasn't in the chalks or even in the sky, it was in the unwavering belief in oneself. The kind of belief that sees no boundaries between the possible and impossible, only canvases waiting to be painted. If Lucas's story brought a little color to your day, don't forget to like and subscribe for more magical tales.